Brock Lesnar was a dominant force in WWE back in 2008, before making the transition to the MMA world by joining the UFC, where he began demolishing opponents.
Here comes the pain.
Coming off a great win against Shane Carwin, his confidence was sky high. However, in his next bout against Cain Velasquez, he got a bit too cocky, underestimating Cain's abilities and believing he would dominate the fight with ease.
Listen, when I get done whooping your ass, I'm gonna go drink a Corona and eat a burrito just for your Hispanic heritage, all right? How about that?
When the fight started, Brock came out strong with flying knees and took Cain down a few times. But Cain quickly bounced back, and once he got a hold of Brock, he started landing some heavy shots, pounding him hard enough to knock him out. After about 2 minutes of intense punishment, the ref stepped in to stop the fight. Dave Bautista, another WWE megastar, decided to step into the cage after retiring from wrestling. He did manage to win his debut against Vince Lucero, but it definitely wasn't the smooth victory he probably hoped for. Batista gassed out fast, throwing slow, tired punches, and by the end, he looked like he was just trying to survive. He pretty much blocked every punch with his face. They gave him the easiest opponent in the division, and somehow he still almost got knocked out.
Right hand, another right.
That just goes to show how fragile WWE fighters really are outside the ring. During a WWE segment in 2004, Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle invited rookies to challenge him in a wrestling match, basically bullying and dominating them one by one. But then came Daniel Puder, a rookie with some MMA experience who wasn't about to just roll over. During their match, Puder nearly locked in a tight Kimura submission on Angle, so tight that it could have snapped his arm if the ref hadn't quickly counted to 3 to end it. Afterward, Puder admitted that he was actually trying to break Kurt's arm, which didn't sit well with many in the wrestling world and led to major backlash. Ken Shamrock was a huge name in the UFC back in 1995. After losing his championship belt, he made the jump to WWE and became known as the world's most dangerous man. Later on, he decided to make a comeback to the UFC, picking up a few wins before facing one of the most dominant fighters of the time, Tito Ortiz.
Shut up, monkey. Yeah, exactly. This monkey's gonna beat your ass down.
If I was you, I hope to God you come ready, because if you don't, I'm gonna beat you into the living death.
Fans were excited to see if Shamrock could get back to his old form, but Tito had other plans. Right from the start, Tito took control with his better wrestling and non-stop ground and pound. Shamrock tried to hang in there, but Tito was just too much. By the end of the third round, Tito had beaten Shamrock down, finishing the fight with a TKO. While Logan Paul isn't technically a WWE star, his flashy, over-the-top personality sure makes him feel like one. He decided to step into the ring against boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, and even though it was just an exhibition match, the Paul brothers couldn't resist stirring up trouble before the fight.
Tomorrow, I break the fucking simulation and beat the greatest boxer in the history of the planet.
Are you nervous, Floyd? Strong gust of wind could blow your little ass over.
Logan didn't just trash talk Floyd, he even took jabs at his personal life.
Floyd's 50-0. Nah, he's 51-1. He beat his wife too. Hey, the only thing that's fake on this stage is Floyd's hairline.
And if that wasn't enough, Jake Paul took things to another level by stealing Floyd's hat, which made him absolutely furious.
I never did nothing to you. Not your hat. Don't disrespect me.
Once the fight started, Floyd toyed with Logan, landing clean shots while dodging almost everything Logan threw at him. Yeah, Logan survived the fight, but let's be real. He only made it to the end because Mayweather decided to take it easy on him. It wasn't even close. Next up, we have Bart Gunn, a WWE star who made a huge mistake. He went against the grain and messed with WWE officials. At one point, Gunn even flipped the script and defeated the WWE champion, which didn't sit well with the higher-ups. To teach him a lesson, they set up a fight between Bart Gunn and boxing legend Butterbean at WrestleMania 15. This was supposed to be a career-ending moment for Bart, and unfortunately for him, it went exactly as planned. From the start, Butterbean's punches proved too much for Gunn. Despite showing courage and trying to mount some offense, Butterbean delivered a brutal knockout punch that sent Bart to the mat. That was the end of his career in WWE, and he never recovered from that crushing defeat.
Security!
At an arm wrestling event, Braun Strowman tried to intimidate Devin with his massive size. as if that would really do a thing to him. At one point, he reached out for a handshake, but Braun, full of himself, shoved him away and acted like he had already won.
This is not what should happen. Separate them.
Then the match started, and all that cocky energy vanished in seconds. No matter how hard Braun pushed, he couldn't even budge Devin's hand, all while Devin was just there, laughing. And once Devin was done messing around, he effortlessly slammed Braun's hand down, handing him a much-needed reality check.
Adam doesn't look like he's happy about that.
Chyna, one of the most dominant female wrestlers in WWE history, was known for her incredible strength and fearless attitude. In 2002, she decided to step into the real fighting world against a guy.
So then I really wanted to box and show that I could go in there with a guy that outweighed me by 100 pounds with no boxing experience and go in there and face adversity in the eye.
Though her opponent had no boxing experience, he still managed to handle her in the ring, tossing her around like a rag doll multiple times. He landed heavy shots that rocked her, and by the end of the fight, it was clear that Chyna was completely outclassed, and the guy won by unanimous decision. After a series of disputes with Triple H, CM Punk decided to part ways with WWE and make his MMA debut in the UFC. He tried to bring his brash personality into his first fight against Mickey Gall, trash-talking his opponent's skills and claiming Gall had only fought tomato cans and had never faced someone like him.
He's fought tomato cans, and he thinks that makes him a pro, and that's cool. I want him to be confident.
If that wasn't enough, Punk boldly stated he would beat the crap out of Gall and leave his opponent's face red after the fight.
Before long, Mickey will be red.
But once the bout began, Punk's words came back to bite him. Though a complete wimp, Mickey Gall landed brutal strikes on CM Punk, and just 2 minutes into the fight, Gall locked in a submission hold that made Punk tap out.
Do you think there's ever a chance we'll see you back?
Wow. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever.
If the whole transition wasn't embarrassing enough, Stephanie later added fuel to the fire by mocking Punk on WWE's Saturday Night, and that pretty much marked the end of CM Punk's wrestling career.
So if you guys could keep that up for about 2 minutes, you'd last 1 second longer than Punk did.
Bobby Lashley, like Brock Lesnar, tried to transition from WWE to MMA. And while he had some success, his path wasn't as dominant as Lesnar's. Lashley fought in promotions like Bellator and Strikeforce, where he racked up wins against mid-level competition. However, when he faced tougher opponents, his raw technique was exposed.
Lashley might have just dislocated his shoulder.
His biggest struggle came when he fought Chad Griggs in Strikeforce, a fight where Lashley was physically overwhelmed, gassed out, and finished with ground and pound.
Chad Griggs sends Bobby Lashley to his first professional MMA loss.
Unlike in WWE, there was no dramatic comeback here, just cold, hard reality. Jack Swagger, another WWE star, made the jump to MMA in 2019 when he joined Bellator. With his background as an NCAA Division I All-American, he was probably one of the best WWE to MMA guys out there. Even though he mostly faced smaller opponents, he still had a solid skill set, winning fights with takedowns, ground and pound, and submissions.
Sink that hip down. There's it's all over.
In his final fight, however, he accidentally landed 2 big knees to his opponent's ballsack, causing the bout to be called off. After that, Swagger was never seen in the ring again. A female fan made it onto the list when she asked Jericho for a selfie. However, instead of taking a picture, Jericho punched her in the face, which enraged the fans.
Can I just get a picture with you?
Furious, they surrounded Jericho, ready to take him down. When the bodyguards stepped in to escort him out, Jericho went full heel on them too, even shoving one out of his way.